So Mari, a lot of people, when they poach eggs at home, they end up with a mess. You get egg whites that are all frayed and shaggy, and egg yolks that are cooked through too much, so you don't get that beautiful creamy center.
It's true. For such a common ingredient, eggs are notoriously hard to work with. And we actually just got an inquiry from Rachel, one of our cooking school students, and she's having that very problem. She says, the whites always fall apart when I poach eggs. What am I doing wrong? And I think that we can help her.
We can definitely help her, and I think it's pretty easy to identify the problem. I bet she's starting off the eggs by cracking them into a pot full of simmering water, but keeping them at that simmering point the entire time they cook. So you get a lot of movement in the water, and it causes those egg whites to fray apart and overcook, and that's why you get that too cooked center as well. So we're going to show her the right way to do it with beautiful center, creamy yolk that's still a little bit runny, and nice tender egg whites.
When I was in culinary school, we were taught to use a saucepan with these tall sides, but in the test kitchen, we actually use a skillet, much shorter sides, which makes it just a lot easier to drop the eggs into the pan.
So we take that skillet and we fill it up almost to the rim, and we bring it up to the simmer. But before it starts to simmer, we add a little bit of salt and a couple of tablespoons of white vinegar. And that's the magic ingredient because it acidulates the water. And acid will actually help to set the proteins quicker. So you end up with whites that are perfectly set, still nice and tender. You get a good creamy yolk inside. So after the water's brought to the simmer, we carefully lower the eggs in, but we don't just crack them in one at a time. Here's a little clever trick. You just crack one egg each into a teacup, and that way you can lower 4 into the water all at once. And this is actually a great method because it means that you can cook 6 eggs or even 8 eggs. You just simply crack 2 eggs into each cup at a time. So as soon as the eggs are slipped gently into the water, we simply cover the pan, take it off heat, and there's a lot of residual heat in there, but no movement. So we're going to cook the eggs gently all the way through, still creamy yolks, but we're not going to have all those tattered whites. And that takes about 4 to 5 minutes.
So after 5 minutes, you remove the lid, and this is what you have. It's the perfect poach. You have just set whites and a nice, perfectly creamy, runny yolk. And all you need for this is a slotted spoon. You just take it out of the pan, you hold it over the water for a second to drain, and then transfer it over to a paper towel-lined plate. And once you learn how to poach eggs, you can really use them for anything. We like them on a piece of toast right after they've drained, or in an Eggs Benedict, or in our salad lyonnaise. The possibilities are just endless.
And I'm even simpler because I just eat them out of my hands as fast as I can cook them. So if you want to learn more about poaching eggs, or maybe you want to learn how to roll up the perfect omelet, or how to soft cook eggs so that the whites are creamy and the yolk is still nice and runny, you want to check out our online cooking school course titled Essential Eggs. You get some great tips all about eggs, the equipment, the right ingredients, and you'll get to cook along with me in a recipe tutorial.
It's a great interactive experience, so go check it out, and happy cooking.